Most of the time on the recordings, I'll start out with my face there just so you can see who's talking. Um, for this class, Blackboard is not required. Do you guys know what Blackboard is? It's part of our website. If you use it, it is a handy tool. There's going to be stuff on there that's going to be handy for you, but it's not required by any means. You can get through the course just fine without it. But if you do use it, to get the Blackboard, of course, from our main site, you just click on the top here on the quick links, you get Blackboard. Now I'm already logged in, so I didn't have to log in. Do you guys know your login and password? Okay. If anybody has any problems, let me know and I'll help you figure it out. And trying to remember which class this one is. I believe it's this one. First day of the server's always a little bit slow because everybody's going to Blackboard to show their students their syllabus and stuff. I don't pass out a paper syllabus anymore just because I found that most of them ended up in the garbage can on the way out the door anyway. So I'll save a tree and we'll just post it here. So if you need it, you can always look at it out here. So once you get into Blackboard for this class, obviously this is Math 373, it'll look like this. The first thing you'll see is just a general announcement from me saying welcome. The useful stuff for this class will be right here under course information. If you click on that, you're going to find my contact information. By the way, my name is Todd Huff. You can all call me Todd. I don't need any titles or anything like that. Best way to get a hold of me is right there, email address. I realize it's a little small to see from your seats, but you can look at it later. I'll show you here on the syllabus. It'll be a little bit larger. I check my email at least a couple times a day. I have the computer right in the classroom here, so on breaks I can check it quick. That's the best way to get in touch with me if you need something. Otherwise, this is my extension here. You can actually call any of the WITC numbers. I have posted the Rice Lake campus number up there, but you can call any campus or the 800 number and dial that extension, and it will get you to my voicemail. And I do have it set up now that it'll send me a notification if I get a voicemail so that I know to check it. I never go to my office. So I go up there like once or twice a week to check to see if I have any packages, and that's about it. But I will get your voicemail. For the other things here, the syllabus and the schedule here, and as I mentioned earlier, I do record all my classes. So after today, there'll be recordings listed down at the bottom here. It'll say, day 1 or just number 1 or whatever. Usually I try to post them, I title them with the date. So this would say like 8-29, and then the links to the recordings for today will be under that. I want to take a look at my schedule here quick. Just so you guys know, the schedule for this class has changed like 3 times in the last 2 weeks. So if you printed out your class schedule before last Tuesday, there's a good chance it's not quite correct. This class does now meet today for 2 hours from 2:30 to 4:20, and then on Wednesday for 1 hour from 3:30 to 4:20. That didn't get put on here. I have to make sure I get that added on there. It was different before. So it's been changed a couple times in the last couple weeks. So if your schedule is different, you might want to go back in and reprint that. But it is 3:30 to 4:20 on Wednesday. You guys will be back in here. I think that was originally 2:30 to 3:20 or something like that. Also, if you look at the schedule, you can see on Mondays, this is your class. I have actually both days, Monday and Wednesdays, I have class right before this one. So coming in a little early for questions isn't going to work. But I am free right after this class on both days. So if you need help, you can stick around. And I do try to build in a little time for homework and help during class as well. The one thing on Wednesday, like I said, I didn't get your class put on the schedule here for Wednesday afternoon. But you can see right here that says Clayton High School. I will be in this room, but if you come to the door, the room's going to look empty, but the TV over there will be on. So it's going through the television network up to Clayton High School. So I want to mention that to warn you. You come here and the classroom looks empty. Take a peek up to see if the TV is on. If there's something on the TV screen, I ask that you don't come in because they'll be interrupting the ITV network to the high school. And the microphones are pretty sensitive, so any stray noise in the classroom is really distracting for that. Right now that's listed, actually they got listed to go to 3:30, but I've asked for clarification of, I don't want you guys waiting out in the hallway till right at 3:30, so hopefully we can get that whittled down to either 3:20 or 3:25. And you can see all the other free times. My mornings are pretty free here from 9:30 to 12:30 every day, except for Fridays. I am in this classroom and I'm free if you have any questions. I know you guys don't start. Is this your first class of the day, or did you have one before this? This is one before this. So I know you guys don't start till 1:30 or 2:30 most days. But I'm here in the mornings, and I'm here on Fridays too, in the afternoons for the most part. Okay, let's get to the syllabus. I'll kind of get through this quickly because I know you guys have probably seen enough of these, or will see enough of these in the first couple of days to numb your mind. Okay, so there's my contact information again, a little bit larger. It always capitalizes them. It doesn't matter whether you capitalize them or not, it'll still get to me. And there's my extension again for the voicemail. So you guys are here, so you don't need to know where the classroom is and what days we meet. Course description, and actually course description isn't near as important as this list here. This is a list of the competencies for the course. Those are the topics we're going to cover. This course covers some very, very basic looking concepts, but we'll go into it in a little bit more detail than what you're used to. With that said, if you're looking at that list of concepts, I mean operations with whole numbers, fractions, decimals, proportions, percents, measurements and conversions are the big part of the course. And then solving algebraic equations, reading meters and scales and stuff like that as well, measuring devices. And then applying formulas and order of operations and stuff like that. If you're looking at that list thinking that seems like very, very basic concepts, they kind of are. If it's stuff that you know and you think you really don't need to be sitting in the class, come and talk to me. There is a test out procedure for the class. This is a 2-credit course, so it costs you $40 to try the test out. If you take the test out, now the test out I believe for this class has 2 sections. I haven't seen the actual test out for a little while, but usually there's a first section that's about 10 or 15 questions where you cannot use a calculator. That's usually working with fractions, converting between fractions, decimals, operations with fractions and decimals, basic percents and stuff like that. Then there's a section where you can use the calculator, which is everything else. Historically, about 30% who take that test pass it. I was a little surprised. I thought it would be higher than that, but for the most part, you're coming in here in the fall. It's been a few months, if not years, for some of you since you've had a math class. So even though the topics are stuff you know, you might need a little review. So if you're considering doing the test out, come and talk to me. I'll let you know what topics you need to do or show you what to study so that you can prepare for it a little bit. Just so you don't go in there blind, because that's usually where people go in and they don't pass, is if they just walk in and try it because they think they've got it. Textbook for this class. You should have this one here. Hopefully yours is in better shape than mine. If you don't have it yet, there are some other people, there might be some people in the building that have theirs from last semester, especially automotive. If you go to the auto tech shop, some of them might still have their math books that they want to get rid of cheap. Otherwise, what is it, like $120 now? Those of you got it? Somewhere in there. Math textbooks are always horribly overpriced. So anyway, like I said, questions on test outs, come talk to me. Other required, well, not just required, highly recommended supplies. You're going to need a calculator. I recommend you get a scientific calculator, a fraction calculator. If you already have one, chances are it's good enough. If you don't, the one I recommend is the TI-30, Texas Instruments TI-30. They're about $12 or $13. Get the one that's the 2-line display so that you can, when you type it in, you can see what you've typed in. They do all the fractions and stuff really well. If you have a graphing calculator, you're welcome to use it. But one thing the graphing calculators don't do well is fractions. So the cheaper one does a lot better job with some of that stuff than the graphing calculator. Well, and like I said, if you have one and you're not sure if it works, let me know and I'll take a look at it for you. Grading. 80% of the grade in this course is based on unit tests and unannounced quizzes. The unit tests will be announced. There are 5 units in this class, so that means 5 unit tests. And then the quizzes usually come anywhere from 2 to 4 hours a class. Every now and then you guys will squeak through a week without a quiz, but normally you'll have one, sometimes two in a week. And that makes up 80% of your grade. And I'll explain why you have so many quizzes here in just a minute. The last 20% of your grade is from homework and class participation. I don't collect homework and grade it unless there becomes a problem with students doing it. Mainly because like this semester I think I have 135 or 140 students. I don't have time to collect daily homework and grade it. And you guys are all adults. I mean, I can trust you guys to do what you need. I mean, part of the reasoning behind that is some of the topics are going to be topics you know. If you do the first few problems and they seem easy and you're confident in them, I would hope that you would skip ahead a few problems to the more difficult ones. I don't want you doing busy work on stuff you already know. That's my purpose here, is for you guys to learn, not to do stuff you already know how to do. So that's also part of the reason why I don't collect it. So that other 20% that's homework and class participation basically becomes show up for class and don't upset the instructor. As you can tell, I'm really tough to get along with. That part should be really, really difficult. So that goes back to the quizzes. Since I don't collect your homework, I do the quizzes, like I said, every 2 to 4 hours, just so I've got a little bit of a feeling of how you're doing. If there's something that you're really confused on or lost on, it lets me know that, hey, maybe I should take some more time and go over that again. Maybe I should recommend that if there's only one person that's struggling or a couple people, let's recommend them to get some extra help or sit down with them during homework time and work through stuff so that I don't leave anybody behind. My purpose in here is not to flunk you guys out of your program. My purpose in here is to give you what you need to be successful. I know that sounds like a cliche, but my job is to help you get through your program, not to get you out of it. Okay, with all that, then the standard WITC grading scale, you probably see this a few times before the end of the day. If you need to drop, if you do the test out that I mentioned has to be done by noon on Friday. A couple of reasons for that. Our drop deadline to get your refund for the class is Friday. So if you do the test out, you get your money. If you pass the test out, you get your money back for the class and you get credit for the class. So you have to have that done by then. Or for some other reason, if you have to drop classes by Friday, you get a refund. Otherwise, there's an 80% guideline, 80% of the way, which is somewhere in week 12 or 13 for this class. If you drop before then, you can drop without taking an F on your transcript. So if that becomes an issue, let me know, and I'll make sure we have those dates down for you. Other policies, this is just telling you to look at the student handbook for standard WITC policies. Academic and integrity, don't cheat. Pretty much, there are going to be a lot of stuff in here where I allow you to work together, just to make it easier and to help you learn. Like I said, I'm not here about being the hardcore guy that flunks you out. I want you to learn, get as much out as you can. So there are going to be some stuff where I say, hey, work with the people at your table or work with someone next to you or whatever. But if I don't say that, make sure you're doing your own work. And make sure if you are working together, you're understanding what you do. If you have any needs, whether it is a documented disability or maybe you're just really nervous taking a math class or maybe sometimes you struggle with tests, let me know and I'll see what I can do. You need a private room or a little bit extra time. And by the way, on my tests and quizzes, I always give you unlimited time. So if you need more time, let me know. I'll set it aside and we can finish it up later. Whatever you need to get through, let me know and I'll see what we can do for you. This last little note, podcasts and videos, is just there because I do record the class and they are posted online. So just so you know that the camera is never on you. So the only way you'd ever appear on camera is if you came up here and stood by me. But your voices will get picked up when you ask questions and stuff in class. The biggest reason I mention is that don't yell out something inappropriate because it will be on there. And then that's just a list of our units: whole numbers, fractions, decimals, measurement, measuring devices, and basic algebra, and then our ratio and proportion. A little bit of basic geometry mixed in there with some of the formulas and stuff. Any questions? I know you've got a lot of stuff thrown at you today, so any questions come up over the next couple of weeks on procedures or whatever, let me know and I'll go back over it. Okay, so since we got all the administrative crap out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and end that recording.